Hello, I'm Oswaldo, and this is my personal memory about when I came to the United States. When somebody asks us what do we think about our country, of course, the Americans, we will say great things. Now the question is, what people from other countries think? Well, according to a study done by CNN, where the question, what do you think about the United States, was asked to random people from random countries, 7 out of 10 people say negative things about us. This is kind of weird because each year 800,000 people apply for an American visa, according to the worldwide American embassies. Now, why this happens? To understand this, I'm gonna take you to a scenario about my personal story. I was originally born in Venezuela, but because of all the political problems and unsafeness that we're experiencing right now, my parents were looking for better opportunities for another country where to live. Luckily for us, a family friend offered my parents a job in the United States. As soon as we made the announcement to friends and close friends and family, they, instead of saying, "I hope you do good in this new opportunity that you have," they will say things like, "How are you going to do with the language? Americans are very racist. What about school? Have you heard about school bullying?" I was kind of scared, so I decided that it was time for me to take a break from this. So I went to my bed and turned on the TV. Guess who was on TV? Venezuelan president talking about how the United States was the most producer and consumer of drugs in the world, and how by this it was affecting the economies of small and undeveloped countries. This was very overwhelmed, and by that time I didn't want to come here, but my parents already had made a decision and we were moving to the United States the following summer. My mom, of course, she wanted me to learn some English before I start school so I can hear first. My first experience with the American system, unfortunately, was not good at all. Soon as I was about to take off on a plane, they decided that I couldn't travel alone because I was missing a doctor's paper, a doctor's approval, where it says that because of my disability I can travel alone in a plane to the United States. At that point I said, I understand why people does not like the United States. How are they not gonna let me on a plane just because of the fact that I was missing a piece of paper? Do they have any kind of human sense? But luckily for me, I was able to take off to the United States straight to Houston on the next available plane. As soon as I arrived to the airport, I saw everything with different eyes. People was willing to help, everything was organized, and I really felt like I was at home. Talking about school, at the beginning I was kind of scared, but as time passed, I feel like my school was like my family. Sometime later, after I was established in the United States, a friend called in, and of course I will tell him all the great things that I was doing in here. As I may know already, things were not going as well for him. But instead of being happy for me doing great in here, he was kind of mad, so I asked him why. He said it was because I was becoming too American and I was forgetting a little about my country. And I tell him, it's not the fact that I'm forgetting about my country, it's just because I think that the country where you're from is not the country where you were born, it's the country where you fit and you fell in. Later on, another friend called and the same story happens. So I start asking myself why this happens. Is it because they are jealous of us? Well, this may sound kind of silly saying it from a student, but according to a psychology professor of Harvard, 97% of the people that said negative things about stuff is just because they wanted to be a little bit more like that thing. So I asked my friends at that point, why you don't see us and see if you can take our example? Maybe you can become better. Now of course, by explaining this to you, I will ask you to not take everybody's word at first and think when you have an opportunity and somebody say negative things to you, you have to experience first, because what may be not good for some people may be the best thing for you. So now, after I tell my story, are you ready to defend your country with critical thinking and common sense?